So we're going to start with the sine law. Sine law is you use sine law and cosine law when you can't use SOHCAHTOA or Pythagoras theorem. So sine law can be used when you have what we call oblique triangles. What's an oblique triangle?
Odd shape.
Odd shape, so it's not right angle. Any triangle other than right angle is called an oblique triangle. Okay? So an oblique triangle is any triangle that does not have a 90-degree. Okay? And just recall what we talked about earlier is when you have a triangle, you have the angle A, angle B, angle C. The angle and the side across from it are labeled accordingly. So this is B because it's across from angle B. This is C because it's across from angle C. And this is A because it's across from angle A. Right? So angles are across from the corresponding sides. Do we understand that part? So just the naming, this is just recall. When do I use the sine law? So number one, you have to have an oblique triangle. Okay, so you have to have a triangle that doesn't have 90 degrees. And then you must have two angles and a side. Okay, so they must give you two angles and any side. So what AAS or ASA stands for is angle, angle, side, or angle, side, angle. This is what they stand for. Okay? So let's look at this. So if I'm given the angle, and then the angle right after it, and the side, okay, I can use sine law. Okay? So two angles and a side. Or if I'm given angle, side, angle. So when you're reading this, you're following what you're reading. Okay? So angle, angle, side, or angle, side, angle. Okay? Both of these situations, you can use sine law. Now, in this case, I'll be solving for another side. Okay? So, if you look at this, I have angle, angle, side, right? I have the angle and its opposite side, so I'll be solving for this one. Alright? I'll show you what ratios we have to use, but you always have to have an angle and its opposite side, and then you have another angle, and you're looking for the opposite side. Okay? So the formula is the following. So to find the third side, to find the opposite side, you have to do A over sine A equal to B over sine B equal to C over sine angle C. When you're using the formula, you're only allowed to use two ratios. So you pick, do I have A and B, or do I have A and C, or do I have B and C? What do I have? You pick the two that you have, and then you solve. We're going to look at an example. It will start making sense when we look at the examples. Okay? So this formula, I use it when I'm looking for an opposite side, and I can only use two ratios at a time. Are we okay with this? All right. Now look at this triangle, the second, so the angle, side, angle. Do I have an angle and its opposite side or no?
No.
No. So if I look at this triangle right here, do I have an angle and its opposite side? No, because this is the angle, I don't have the opposite side. This is an angle and I don't have the opposite side. However, I can find this angle easily, can't I? What do I do to find this angle? 180 minus these two, right? So if I can find this angle right here. By doing 180 minus the other two, I'm gonna call them A and B. Right? Correct? And then once I have this angle, now I have an angle on the opposite side. Right? Then let's say they want me to find this side, then I can use B. If they want me to find this side, then I can use A. We'll look at an example that will start making sense again when we look at it. Now for sine law, there's two formulas. The first formula is this one, and I use it when I'm finding an opposite side. And then the same formula, but switched, I use it when I'm finding an angle. You know two sides and one corresponding, which means opposite angle. Then you can use sine law, and it will be written like this. Sorry?
Just repeat the other side.
Yeah. So, I'm going to show you. If you are given this side and an opposite angle. So let's say they gave you this. Okay? You see that you guys all agree with me that I have an angle on its opposite side and I have another side, right? I can solve for this angle right here. Okay? And I can solve for this angle by using two of these ratios. Okay? So let's name this. So I have A, B, C. I know angle C and I know side C, correct? So I can use this. I know side B and I'm looking for angle B. So I can use this. So in this case, I'm going to have to use sine B over B equals to sine C over C. Right? You know sine C, you know C, you know B, you're looking for this. Make sense? Okay, let's look at an example. Let's look at it. Oval or right angle triangle? Oval, because I don't have 90 degree, I have 95, right? Good. So I know two angles and a side, and they want me to find the length of side D. So they want me to find this. Right? Tell me, what do I know? Angle E, angle D, side E. So I know side E and angle E. I know angle D and I'm looking for side D. You always have to have an angle and opposite side. If you don't have that, you can't use sine. Okay? And in this case, I do have an angle and its opposite side, right? Yeah. Okay. So, since I'm looking for a side, I want the sides to be on the top. So I want E over equals to D over, right? When you're looking for a side, you want the sides on the top. When you're looking for an angle, you want the sine on the top. Let me go back here. When you're looking for a side, you want the sides on the top. When you're looking for the angles, you want the sine on the top. Are you guys okay with this? All right. E over what? Sine E. Right? D over sine D. They have to match. Okay? Now all what we have to do, we have to plug in the information. Right? What is side E? Over sine 95 equals to side D is
40.
I don't know.
Oh, shoot, my bad.
I don't know.
40.
Over sine 4. If you want to solve for D, how would you do that? So just cross multiply this, right? So that means you're gonna bring the sine 40 here, right?
Yeah.
And that's why we use this specific formula, is because it's easier. Okay, if you had the other one which is a flip, then you have to do too many steps. Okay, that's why we have the two different versions. Okay, so cross multiply, so then I have D equals 2, so I have 38 times sine 40 over sine 95 equals to D. You all agree? Now all what you have to do, you have to plug in this in the calculator and tell me what the answer is.
Are you supposed to simplify the sine 40 before you multiply it by 38?
Yes, or you can do 38 times sine 40, which would give you exactly the same answer. 24.5.
No, 24.4.
3.4.
So 24.5.
2 is more than 5. 5 is more than 5.
Okay, let me see. So
It's
you do 38 times sine 40 divided by sine 95, right?
Oh, I think you put it in right.
24.5.
Right. Divide
So
by what?
24.5, that's right. Maybe check if it's not in degrees.
So it's 38 times sine 40,
Yeah?
and then we'll divide, so the same equation we'll divide by
Sine 95.
only the half.
Got it?
I know you're gonna move on to the next one, but could you do the very first example? Yeah.
Okay, why did we leave it to one decimal place? Because it's a side, and side is to one decimal place. Okay? Are you guys okay with this? Alright. Now I want you to look at the next example and tell me, what do I have and what am I looking for, and can I use the sine law?
2 angles on one side.
2 angles on one side. Do I have the opposite side?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, that's very important. Can I move back up?
Yes.
So,
One
One angle on two sides, okay.
Sorry.
so it's very important that you have an angle and opposite side. This is very, very important. Otherwise, I'm going to repeat this, you cannot use the sine law. This is where the cosine law kicks in. Okay? So, I'm looking for, what am I looking for? I'm looking for angle C, right? So I don't know what that is. Alright, so I know A and side A. I'm looking for angle C. So which one do I use? Give me letters.
So,
Sine
sine
C equals
sine 5 over.
good. Good. Now let's fill in the blank. Do I know what angle C is?
No.
What side C?
12,
What's angle A?
59,
What's side A?
19.
9. So to solve for C or sine C, what do I do? Cross multiply, right? Again, this is why we change the formula a little bit, because then it's easier to solve. All what you have to do is I call it half cross multiply because you're technically only multiplying one side. So sine C equals to 12 times sine 59 over 90. So what do you get when you get that? How many decimal places we have to leave?
4.
4. So 5, 4, 1, 3.
So it would be 5, 4, 1, 4.
What's after the 3?
6.
Okay, that's right.
You scored one.
You have to be careful with the rounding because if you don't round properly, your answer is going to be a little bit off. Okay, now sine C equals to this. Did I find my angle? No, what do I have to do to find my angle? Sine inverse. Remember, anytime I'm looking for an angle, I have to do that inverse. Remember that? So angle C, angle C is sine inverse 0.5414. So what do you do when you get that?
33.
33 degrees. Angle should be to the nearest degree, so you shouldn't have decimals for. Does it make sense? Yes. You have to press ARC. You have to press All right. Let's go to the next question. I'm gonna let you do this one, not this one. Do I have a next question or not?
Yeah.
Did I delete it? Okay. I'm gonna add a page. Because I don't know why I deleted it. So okay, let me try this. Okay, what do I have?
83.
So y x. Can I use this?
Well, X is 83.
So the question is asking you to find the length of x and y, so you have to find the length of x and the length of y. Given that angle x is 83 and angle y is 35 and side z is 26 inches. Okay, so start by finding, let's say, side x first, but what do you have to do first? What's the first thing that you have to do in order to be able to solve that question? You find angle z, that's right. Why do you need to find angle z?
Because it's the opposite of 0.
That's the only one that has an opposite side, right? So in order to be able to do this question, you need to find angle z first, because now I have an angle and an opposite side. Do we all understand that? Okay, so what I would like you to do is I'm going to stop the podcast right now, but I would like you to do this question.